Now listen carefully because March 7th could become one of the most important dates for millions of Americans depending on Social Security. And the scary part is, most people still have no idea what is about to change. We are talking about new rules, new systems, new processing methods, and a whole new way people may have to deal with Social Security going forward. For some people, this could mean confusion. For others, delays. And unfortunately, for many families already struggling to survive month to month, even one mistake could feel devastating. And here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. The system was already overwhelmed before all of this started. People already waited on hold for hours. Offices were already short staffed. Seniors were already stressed, exhausted, and worried about whether their checks, Medicare, or benefits would arrive correctly and on time. Now, suddenly, massive changes are coming all at once. That means a lot of people are about to walk into situations they are completely unprepared for. Some will be told different answers by different offices. Some may get stuck in endless processing delays. Others may not even realize a simple mistake could cost them thousands of dollars or critical healthcare coverage. And when you're living paycheck to paycheck, when you're relying on Social Security to survive, when your medications, rent, groceries, and future depend on these benefits, that uncertainty becomes terrifying. But this video is not here to scare you. This video is here to prepare you because the people who understand these changes first are going to have a huge advantage over the people who ignore them. The people who know the rules, know the warning signs, and know how to respond are the people who will protect themselves and their families during this transition. That is exactly why we are breaking everything down today in simple words, step by step, so you know what is happening, what it means for you, and what you need to do before March 7 arrives. And trust me, by the end of this video, you are going to see why this new Social Security rule has so many people worried and why being ready right now could make all the difference. For millions of Americans, March 7 is not just another date on the calendar. It could become the beginning of a completely new chapter for Social Security. And the truth is, most people are still not ready for what is coming. Every day, families across the country wake up already worried about rising bills, expensive medications, rent payments, groceries, and whether their benefits will arrive on time. Social Security is not just a government program to these people, it is survival, it is peace of mind. It is the difference between sleeping at night and lying awake wondering how the next month will be paid for. Now, suddenly, new rules are arriving, new systems are being introduced, and major changes are starting all at once. That creates fear for so many people because when something this large changes, confusion always follows. Many seniors already feel overwhelmed trying to understand paperwork, phone calls, appointments, Medicare questions, and benefit rules. And now they are hearing that another major Social Security rule starts March 7th. That alone is enough to make people nervous. But here is the powerful thing people must remember right now. Information is power. Preparation is power. The people who learn these changes early are the people who give themselves a chance to avoid mistakes, avoid delays, and protect the benefits they worked for their entire lives. That is why this moment matters so much. This is not about panic. This is about being awake, alert, and ready. Because far too many people wait until something goes wrong before they start paying attention. By then, stress takes over, frustration takes over, fear takes over. But the people watching now are already one step ahead. They are choosing to prepare before the storm instead of after it. And that decision alone could make a life-changing difference for them and the people they love. Right now, all across America, there are millions of people trying their best just to hold everything together. Seniors are checking their bank accounts carefully. Families are stretching every dollar further than ever before. Retirees are sitting at kitchen tables late at night wondering if their Social Security benefits will continue to cover the basics they worked their whole lives for. And in the middle of all that stress and uncertainty, a brand new Social Security rule is arriving on March 7th, bringing even more questions that many people still do not fully understand. For years, people have already struggled to get help when they needed it most. Long wait times, busy phone lines, confusing paperwork, different answers from different offices. Many people already felt frustrated before these changes even started. Now imagine what happens when a completely new system begins rolling out across the country. The fear people feel is real because nobody wants to make a mistake involving their retirement, Medicare, disability, or monthly income. And that is why this moment is so important, because too many good people stay silent when they are confused. Too many people feel embarrassed to ask questions. Too many people think they will somehow figure it out later. But later can become dangerous when your health care, medications, rent, or survival depends on these benefits arriving correctly and on time. The good news is this: you do not have to face these changes blindly. The people who stay informed now are giving themselves strength. They are giving themselves confidence. They are choosing to fight confusion with knowledge instead of fear. And that matters more than ever right now. March 7 is coming quickly, and whether people are ready or not, these changes are moving forward. But the people paying attention today are already doing something powerful. They are taking control instead of waiting for problems to happen. They are preparing themselves, protecting their future, and standing stronger for the days ahead. One of the hardest things about change is that people rarely see the problems coming until they are already standing right in front of them. That is exactly why so many Americans are nervous about the new Social Security rule starting March 7th. Because when new systems, automation, and new processes suddenly take over something as important as Social Security, mistakes can happen fast. Delays can happen fast. Confusion can spread fast. And sadly, the people hurt the most are often the people who can least afford it. Think about the millions of seniors and families who depend on these benefits every single month. For them, Social Security is not extra money. It is grocery money. It is rent money. It is medication money. It is doctor appointments, utility bills, and basic survival. So when people hear that major changes are arriving, fear naturally follows. They start asking themselves difficult questions. What if my payment gets delayed? What if my paperwork gets lost? What if nobody answers the phone? What if I make one small mistake that costs me thousands of dollars? Those fears are real, and people deserve honest answers, because far too often, ordinary Americans are left trying to figure out complicated systems completely on their own. They spend hours waiting for help, searching for answers, and hoping someone finally explains things clearly. That frustration builds up over time, and many people feel exhausted before they even begin the process. But this is exactly why being informed right now is so powerful. Knowledge gives people confidence. Preparation gives people strength. The more people understand these changes before March 7 arrives, the better chance they have to avoid unnecessary stress, delays, and costly mistakes. And here is something important to remember: people are stronger than they think. Communities are stronger than they think. When people share information, help each other, and stay alert together, they become harder to ignore and harder to push aside. That is why paying attention today could make such an important difference tomorrow. For so many Americans, the hardest feeling in the world is feeling powerless, feeling like decisions are being made somewhere far away while ordinary people are left confused, stressed, and struggling to keep up. That is exactly why the new Social Security rule starting March 7th has so many families paying attention right now. Because when something this important changes, people immediately start worrying about what could happen to their benefits, their health care, and their future. And honestly, those worries are understandable. Millions of people already depend on Social Security every single month just to survive. They worked for decades. They paid into the system their entire lives. They earned these benefits through years of sacrifice, hard work, and dedication. So when major changes suddenly appear, people naturally feel nervous about whether the system will still work the way it should. Many seniors already feel overwhelmed trying to deal with appointments, paperwork, phone calls, Medicare questions, and endless waiting times. Some people spend hours trying to reach someone for help. Others walk into offices hoping for answers and leave feeling more confused than before. Now imagine all of that pressure growing even bigger as new systems and new rules begin rolling out nationwide. But this is the moment where knowledge becomes a shield, because the people who understand what is happening are not helpless. The people who prepare early are not powerless. Every person who learns these rules, asks questions, and stays informed is taking back control over their future one step at a time. That is something truly powerful. Fear grows in silence, but confidence grows through preparation. The more people learn now, the stronger they become when problems appear later. And that matters because too many people wait until a crisis happens before they start paying attention. By then, stress takes over everything, but the people watching closely right now are already putting themselves in a better position. They are choosing awareness over confusion, action over panic, and strength over fear as March 7 gets closer every single day. Right now, across the country, millions of people are carrying silent stress every single day. Some are worried about retirement. Some are worried about rising medical bills. Others are worried about whether their Social Security check will be enough to survive another month. And now, with a brand new Social Security rule beginning March 7th, many families feel even more uncertain about what the future may look like. The truth is, people are tired, tired of confusing systems, tired of waiting for answers, tired of feeling like nobody explains things clearly. Many seniors already feel overwhelmed trying to understand benefits, Medicare, paperwork, appointments, and changing policies. So when another major change suddenly arrives, fear naturally begins to grow. People start wondering if they are going to miss something important or make a mistake that could hurt them financially. But this is exactly why staying informed matters so much right now, because knowledge gives people power during uncertain times. Every person who understands these changes before March 7 arrives is giving themselves a better chance to protect their benefits, avoid delays, and make smarter decisions for themselves and their loved ones. And there is something deeply inspiring about that. Instead of giving up, people are choosing to prepare. Instead of sitting back in fear, they are searching for answers. They are learning. They are paying attention. They are refusing to let confusion control their future. That kind of strength deserves respect. Because ordinary Americans have already been through so much over the years: rising costs, financial pressure, healthcare worries, and endless uncertainty have pushed many families to their limits, yet people still keep fighting forward every single day. They still wake up determined to protect their families and build a little more security for tomorrow. March 7th may bring challenges, changes, and frustration for many people, but it can also become a moment where people decide to take control instead of feeling helpless. A moment where preparation replaces panic. A moment where information becomes the tool that helps families move forward with more confidence, more awareness, and more hope for the future ahead. There is something powerful that happens when people stop ignoring the warning signs and start paying attention before problems arrive. That is exactly why this moment matters so much right now. March 7 is getting closer fast, and the new Social Security rule starting on that day could affect millions of Americans who depend on these benefits for stability, health care, and peace of mind. For many families, life already feels difficult enough. Prices continue to rise, bills continue to pile up. Seniors are trying to stretch every dollar as far as possible, while also worrying about medications, doctor visits, rent, groceries, and basic survival. Social Security is not just another government program to these people, it is the foundation holding their lives together. That is why so many people feel nervous when they hear about major changes coming to the system, because when new rules begin, uncertainty follows. People worry about delays, they worry about paperwork mistakes, they worry about losing benefits or not getting the help they need when they need it most. And honestly, those fears are understandable because many people already feel frustrated trying to navigate the system as it is today. But this is where preparation changes everything. The people who choose to learn now are already stronger than they realize. Every question they ask today could save them stress tomorrow. Every piece of information they understand today could protect them from confusion later. That is the difference between feeling lost and feeling ready. And the most inspiring part is that ordinary people are not giving up. Even after years of financial pressure and uncertainty, families are still fighting to protect their future. They are still searching for answers. They are still helping each other understand these complicated changes. That spirit matters more than ever right now. Because when people come together with knowledge and awareness, they stop feeling powerless. They begin to feel prepared. They begin to feel confident. And as March 7 approaches, that confidence could become one of the most important tools people have to protect themselves, their families, and the benefits they worked so hard their entire lives to earn. March 7 is coming fast, and for millions of Americans, this new Social Security rule could become a moment that changes everything. Some people are already hearing rumors, others are confused about what the new rules actually mean. And many families are sitting at home right now, feeling nervous because they know how important these benefits are to their everyday survival. For seniors, retirees, disabled Americans, and families living paycheck to paycheck, Social Security is more than money. It represents security. It represents dignity. It represents the reward for decades of hard work, sacrifice, and contribution. People spent their lives paying into this system, believing it would be there when they finally needed help the most. So anytime major changes happen, emotions naturally run high. And right now, emotions are running high everywhere. People are tired of uncertainty, tired of feeling left behind, tired of trying to understand complicated systems while also dealing with rising costs, medical stress, and financial pressure. Some people already struggle to get clear answers when they call for help. Others wait for appointments or worry about paperwork mistakes that could delay important benefits. That fear becomes even stronger when new rules suddenly arrive. But this is exactly why preparation matters so much today. Because the people who stay informed now are giving themselves something incredibly valuable: confidence. They are replacing fear with knowledge. They are replacing panic with awareness. And that simple decision could protect them and their families from serious stress later on. There is real strength in being prepared before everyone else catches up. There is power in understanding how the system works before problems appear. And there is something inspiring about ordinary people refusing to stay confused or silent while major changes happen around them. That is why this moment matters. People are waking up. They are paying attention. They are asking questions. They are learning how to protect the benefits they earned through years of work and sacrifice. And as March 7 gets closer, those who prepare now may find themselves standing stronger, calmer, and far more ready than the millions of people still waiting until the last minute to understand what is truly happening.